Burada. Let's see. Can I get this? Eagle Flash. Oh, that's not bad. That's not too terrible. Or rather, Nosta, given the time. I'm not used to having a watch on this hand. But I still wear the, what's that called? My swatch on the other one a lot. I want to get the clip, accessory for this thing. So yeah, the whole thing about this one is, so, okay, I got some things, sorted out with, some of my, new, or I guess, recently enough reinstated. It was reinstated, I want to say, back around August. Yeah, I want to say back around August, because they only went back up 3 or 4 months, so they said back to April, so that's why I still have about $70 left to pay on my dental bill, which I accidentally forgot to pay a check last month, so that, of course, gets an extra month tacked on to how long it'll take me to pay it off, but I only have about 2 more payments left, thereabouts. Where was I going with this? Right. So I got some stuff sorted out with the thing, and so basically I have an over-the-counter allowance of $300 a quarter, so approximately every season. Actually, yeah, that runs kind of from between solstices and equinoxes. So I have about $100 in that allowance left for this quarter. So by the end of March, if I don't use that, then it does not roll over to the next quarter, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It's all on my phone, so I'll figure it out when I end the stream. So then what happens is, so amongst this, so like I said, I got some stuff sorted back out, and I got some stuff, like, I don't know, but included, at least in their little online, store pharmacy thing, where, in theory, I can get my, some of my prescriptions filled there, but I looked stuff up. It's really not going to cost me anything less to, you know, it's, I think a lot of them, most of them are going to be the same price, whether I move them to the please don't, that's an onion, no it's not, okay. I thought it was an onion skin, but no, it's, stuff from the, orchid bark, that he was munching on. Munchita. Where was I going with this? Right. Okay, so in the things included, they have Fitbits, right? Well, actually, they have a second brand of fitness tracker as well, but they also have Fitbit branded ones, which is nice. That's really nice. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of have half a mind that, so let's see, like, so I got this, I got a bunch of other things that I need, like a new, carpal tunnel night splint for sleeping, that I put on when I sleep. And I'm not the best about putting that on just because I didn't have one for so long, because Isaac's bugs just took over the old one, and then Umish decided to end their hospital thing with what? The orthotics and excuse me, prosthetics. So they now send other people to go get orthotics and prosthetics and all of that, or they send them to somewhere else to get all of that done. So I just, you know, I was just like, okay, Yeah, it's a universal one. It would be nice to have one that's like actually like sized to my wrist. So, but I'll just try this out. I mean, worst case scenario, I can keep the packaging and I don't know, like see if I can post it on eBay or something just to I mean, yeah, I didn't pay anything out of pocket for it, but I'm like I was looking up, like just in case it didn't fit me somehow, because I am a small person. I was looking up to see like what their return process would be, and I don't know, I just got really, really, really bogged down with like trying to figure out how their return process even works for these kinds of things. So I was just like, worst case scenario, it doesn't fit. I can't figure out how to return it, and so I put it up on eBay or something. But yeah, I don't know. Got half a mind that if I, because I don't have a limit on how many trackers I can order per year or even per quarter. My guess is because they're an item that might get lost periodically by people, but it's still something that, your doctor recommends you have to, I don't know, do stuff and keep track of your activity and all of that. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of have half a mind that if I, like placing an order like last week of the month, if I have enough left over for, either another one of this one, which used like 70 of my allowance for it, for the quarter, or like maybe the next one down and see if I can post it on eBay. Not only lost but likes to get waterlogged. Oh, okay. So probably not the greatest idea to continue my habit of doing the dishes ungloved then. Because I've noticed it does okay in the shower, and I usually take everything off when I get in the shower, but I noticed that these register goth dancing as swimming. So I'm like, okay, if it registers swimming, then it's probably to some amount submersible. Safely, relatively speaking, of course. So I probably don't have to worry about it too much in the especially because my shower head, I put my own shower head in the shower stall in my bathroom. One of these days, I don't know. Ideally, when I get the place picked up again. Excuse me. Cause yeah, like the whole thing about getting it picked up in here again is really, really important because things that happen. Right. The whole thing is like I have a history of seasonal depression, seasonal affective disorder. In my case, I am definitely one of the people affected during winter. I guess she's more of an acquaintance because, I don't know. We've never been especially close, though we have had friendly periods. She seems to get, seasonally affected with, not so much like clinical depression, but she's definitely noticed that she has like a psychological downtime where she's under more stress and anxiety during summer. So that's, I presume, is one of the reasons that that they switched the terminology around to seasonal affective disorder, something that's a little bit broader. So where was I going with this? Right, so I kind of had a rough idea of things I wanted to talk about, but then I got out of the shower, and then I realized, like, how close the time was getting, and so basically, like, I know what I put in the description box for this stream, and while what? I did post that at 10, or close enough anyway, but then I noticed, like, okay, I looked at the bus schedule and I was like, son of a bitch. It's like, I would have to pretty much go right to the store and right back out within 5 minutes in order to get home in time. So at that point, I started another row on the Afghan I'm crocheting, and I really need to finish that sweater first. But I got kind of a single color Afghan. You kind of just get in the zone, and it's almost relaxing. But I'm at the point with the sweater wherein it is getting very involved because I have to piece all the parts of it together, and I don't know, with the whole thing with the social distancing, wherein it is most effective when you spend as little time out at home as possible, and when you are out, you keep a distance of recommended about 6 feet, or at least that's what the U.S. is saying. I've got a friend, she's an expat living in France, and she's been saying that about 3 or 4 feet is fairly safe, or at least that's what they're saying in her city. So I don't know, but yeah, still, it's like, okay, so I've said that before, that I'm fairly extroverted, and when I think about it, I think I'm that more like compared to a lot of my friends. Like, I do enjoy going out more than, say, Best X. He is your textbook introvert. He's, he likes social, he likes social situations just fine. It's just that, they can be fairly draining. He hates small talk. He would rather go to a game night with, 3 or 4 close friends than go to a concert. That's not to say he hates going to concerts. It's just he goes to 2, maybe 3 concerts a year tops, and he's fine with that. Me, on the other hand, compared to Scott, I am very extroverted. But at the same time, I've noticed that I do actually kind of prefer 4 days a week doing as little in terms of big crowds and all of that as I can manage to get away with, all things considered, of course. I also very claustrophobic and anxious feelings in more unpredictable crowds, so that doesn't go very well with the whole notion of being extroverted. But still, at the same time, it's while I am not the stereotypical textbook quote unquote extrovert, oh shit, there's a song by a really I almost balk at the term quirky these days, just because it's one of those words that's kind of become a little bit loaded in certain social circles, because it's either become so associated with the whole Tumblr not like the others kind of people who ironically about themselves, or it's become so borderline pejorative in mocking those who are or are highly suspected to be of that type. But yeah, there was this girl group in the 60s called The Cake, not the 90s post-grunge, I would say, rock band. They came about, I want to say, mid to late 90s, just called Cake. Their big song was called The Distance, which I never liked it. Lyrically, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way in ways, then a friend of mine who really enjoyed that song kind of explained the lyrics to me a little bit better. And I was like, okay, I kind of see your read of this. I don't know. There's just something about it that I don't like that just really bothers me. But thinking about the lyrics more, it's not the lyrics that bother me. It's just, there's just something about the song. Maybe it's my oral tactile synesthesia that, I don't know. It's been a while since I've heard it, so I can't remember exactly what, I don't know. My guess is, like, I have some synesthesia with sounds. So maybe I'm just kind of, maybe it's not so much a tactile sensation that my brain is creating, but some other feeling of unease just like based on the sound of it. Might be my guess, I don't know. But not Cake. Because that band was simply known as Cake, but they're called The Cake. I have one of their records. It was one of those things that that my friends at PJ's used records when that still existed, because the owner of the building decided to just sell the whole building, even though his daughter was using the lower level for her bakery. But yeah, he just decided to sell the whole building and to a marijuana dispensary. Why exactly? Anybody's guess. Fuck if I know. Nobody ever tells us anything. But then again, Ann Arbor, right? So then what happens? So yeah, I can't remember. Oh wait, I think it was, no, it was Mark. It was Mark. I was more friendly with Jeff always, but Mark was pretty cool too. They were both brothers. But yeah, Mark, yeah, he out earlier that day, and I'd kind of seen it in the stacks and the crates, and I just like went looking through it, and I saw it there, and I'm like, this looks really interesting. But yeah, they had a song. I don't think it was on the album I've got. It's been a while since I pulled that album out. After I finish dishes, if somebody wants to remind, feel free to tell me to pull that record out and see, because I would do it right now, but I've got dishes that I really gotta do. A lot of these have been piled up for a while because seasonal depression hole. That is how the state of the apartment got as bad as it did lately, and I kind of fudged the some truths to my psychiatrist last I saw her. She asked if my buttons were all, you know, orders were all up to date thereabouts, and I said it is as good as it can be right now, which probably said to her that I brought it all up to speed, that everything was up to date, but technically it was the truth, because that was the middle of late January, early February. I think it was early February. Oh, yeah, that was early February. Because she and I are seeing each other now on, 8 weeks, because she decided, no, wait. That's right, I had to see her early this month because of, a refill, but it was a much shorter appointment than February. Okay, but next I see her is early in May. But yeah, so I told her it's as good as it's gonna get right now, which was technically the truth, because at that time, it was not going to get any better than it was, the whole, like, late orders and everything, and I think I might have gotten a new order today, which really kind of pisses me off, in a way. I mean, I'm not pissed off that people want to give me their delicious monies, even with, I'm sure there are people talking about how late everything is. On the good side, I sell cheap-ass shit, so it's top-quality cheap shit, but still, it's like, I'm sure people are, I don't know. LiveJournal harmed me. LiveJournal harmed me. Especially all of the assorted goth dramas in the heyday of LiveJournal. It harmed me. I think Tumblr harmed me more, though, but that's another story for another time. So where was I going with this? Right. Depression hole, dishes. Alright, yeah, a bunch of the dishes are... Alright, yeah, the Cake song, Introverted Extrovert. That's a song of theirs. I don't think it's on the album of theirs I've got. I think they only did 2 records. One of them, she was actually on the first single by Tiny Tim, or at least his first recorded. I don't think it was released as a single. I think no, yeah, it was in a little experimental film. She was singing "I Got You, Babe," but she was singing the Sonny Bono part, while Tiny Tim was doing his really weirdo falsetto that he was known for, and doing the Cher part for "I Got You, Babe." Oh god, yeah. So this is like how cool they were for, you know, a girl group in the 60s. And they did this song called Introverted Extrovert, and that kind of describes me. It's like, I don't know, if I were to be completely honest, I'm probably a bit more 50-50 than textbook, you know, either one or the other, but yeah, I end up, like, I don't know, some combination of various things, and of course, with the whole winter depression, I end up in a depression hole in the apartment. And that's how I started this, was I was thinking the whole pandemic going on right now, that the whole social distancing, that's how I got to this topic. I told you I was going somewhere with this. So yeah, like this social distancing thing, this has been messing with me. This has been messing with me hard. So when I noticed that YouTube is finally letting me stream from the phone app again, my guess is, like, I had not quite been at 1,000 plus subscribers again for long enough, I guess, anyway, which they should make clearer on their FAQ and help site and all of that shit. But that's another story for another time. So yeah, like, when I noticed I could do that again, that's why I had to schedule it and all that, but I wanted to shower first, because it's been a few days since I've showered, even though I probably should have showered a bit more since I had a break. And distancing, which makes me feel a little less inclined to shower, even though I know I should. And, you know, that messes with me. And so, yeah, so yeah, I might be, I don't know, I might do, hopefully I'll be able to do a live med vlog stream when it gets about time to do that. I can't remember if, I'm due to refill my pill pods tomorrow or Wednesday. I think Wednesday. I want to say Wednesday. Of course, Wednesday is tomorrow, going by the clock. But yeah, so yeah, after, hopefully things will get to a point where we understand things a little bit better, and it's not so much that we get to be, you know, the way people are talking, and I've been keeping an eye on the CDC, Twitter and YouTube and all of that, and I'm under the impression that this could be like, you know, it could be like the end of summer before things are back to normal again, which, you know, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And okay, yeah, like the worst would probably be like this time next year things can be going back to normal, or some semblance thereof. But, you know, I'm kind of mentally preparing in my head that, you know, we will see things gradually improving, but we won't see things going way back, you know, going, you know, close to where they were a month ago until about the end of summer, which, like I said, now that I'm mentally preparing for it, I can pace myself. But yeah, the whole social distancing thing. So yeah, like that's, like, oh my gosh, like I said, compared to a lot of my friends, I seem to be more extroverted, which is, I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and I've been watching a lot of videos from another YouTube channel, but she's more focused on, like, she's more focused. Like, I don't know, I do a hodgepodge of live streams, topic edits about the goth subculture and about silent film, and a bunch of vloggy stuff, and then miscellaneous topics, right? But yeah, so she's focused on ADHD. It's called How to ADHD. She very quickly became one of the YouTubers I donate to via Patreon, which I'm at the barest minimum on everybody, so it's like $1 a month to now it's 5 people. So, oh wait, no, it's $1 per song to Unwoman. So seriously? Okay. Then what happens? Okay, right. So yeah, but so yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, am I really all that extroverted, or do I just need the mental stimulation so that my brain can function better? Like, do I go out to clubs and to concerts and all of that because I genuinely, like, I don't know. Like, is it a part of my personality that would exist whether or not that would exist regardless of the ADHD, or is it a part of my personality that's been shaped by ADHD? If that's how it makes more sense, I think that's how it makes more sense. So I've been kind of thinking about that, and like how ADHD brains work differently, and I don't know why I resubscribed to Todd Grande, because he, like, I understand that he means well, and he's speaking from a professional position on mental health topics, but then a few weeks ago, thereabouts, he did a video with a topic titled something like, does extroversion cause personality disorders or mental illness, something along that line, and it just struck me as incredibly offensive. And then a follow-up to that, or maybe the predecessor. I have a bonkers way I watch and catch up on YouTube videos. It's really goddamn bonkers, but it's so I don't get bored with any one creator too fast, which, you know, can happen sometimes, like, but yeah, so I'm like wondering if, like, the more extroverted ways that my brain seems to be driving me, just because of, you know, like, is it because of ADHD, or is it something that would be, you know, regardless of whether or not I had ADHD? And I definitely do have it, but it's one of those things I've been thinking about. It's like, is this one of those things that would have been significantly different if not for this? Really makes you wonder sometimes. What the hell? Oh, eggshell. Ugh. Oh, right, that's what I wanted to, that's the one thing I really wanted to do. Okay. So, and speaking of being holed up in your efficiency apartment, and I say efficiency rather than studio because, you know, while it is, for certain definitions of one room, a one-room apartment, because there are no doors separating the areas, and the bedroom area has this, you know, just kind of like, I call it a floating wall because even though it's not mobile, like some of the like, you'll see floating walls that are on a track, and you can, like, move it from one, you know, to one side or the other. It's not that kind of floating wall. It's a floating wall in that there are no doors bordering it, but yet it's not connected to another wall, right? You know, it's connected to the ceiling and the floor, and then there are no doors and that's it. So that separates out my bedroom area from the rest of the unit. So yeah, I've had friends say that it feels more like a small, but not unlivably small, one-bedroom apartment rather than, rather than a studio / efficiency. So that's not, especially because the kitchen is enormous. Oh gosh, the 4-bedroom place I was living in with the roommate who sucks. Roommates who sucked. 2 out of 3 sucked. One sucked way more than the other one, but still, it's like the kitchen in that apartment, and that was a 4-bedroom apartment. That kitchen was smaller than this kitchen. It had a better layout as far as food prep surfaces went, but it was smaller as far as square footage goes, which just kind of flabbergasts me sometimes, you know? It's like, I have lived in bigger apartments with smaller kitchens than this. So, where was I going? Oh, right. Okay, yeah, so one of the things that I've gotten really into making recently, this last week and change with the whole pandemic going on right now, is Dutch Baby. If you are a fan of, like I am, of the animated television series Bob's Burgers, which I just love, I fucking love that show. It is, in my opinion, the best animated sitcom on television right now. And yes, I am, like, talking about, like, the ones that have a more, let's say, if not pseudo-intellectual in, like, the realist sense that I think of when I say that, but, you know, the people, it really does not have, like, the more hipster kind of audience that, Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman do, and those are good shows. Those are good shows. Granted, I think the fandom around Rick and Morty has at times left a sour taste even in my mouth, and I love that show. I love that show, and I have been a fan of that show since I completely found it on accident, when the pilot first aired. So, like, I was watching stuff on the DVR, and of course, like, if an episode of something ends and there's no second episode of another show to pick up where, you know, like, after that, it'll just stay on the same channel. So, something going on the same channel that, you know, left something behind, I don't know, however long ago. And then what happens was, oh, right. So I was switching shows. I think it was Night Court. I think I was binging on Night Court that year. But yeah, this was, I want to say the last year I lived with Best X out in Lansing. So then what happened? So yeah, like, it's the pilot. It ends up being the pilot of Rick and Morty, because when I go to hit record on this, it says Season 1, Episode 1, and it also says parentheses new, so I'm like, wow, I just accidentally caught on the premiere of something that looks completely psychotic that Scott needs to watch. And it was just like at that transdimensional terminal that they were at in the pilot episode where, you know, Morty's smuggling in an orifice the mega seeds, which that episode was all about, like, yeah, trying to get away with drawing testicles and everything, but it was also very much the setup to something that was psychotic and dark, and yet said, it says a lot more about unhappiness and self-loathing than a lot of that. Than the more obnoxious portions of the fandom give it, you know, will, like, give somebody the impression that it does, because a lot of people seem hung up on the notion that it fosters the idea that being intelligent leads to unhappiness, which is certainly a theme that they at least play around with on the show, but it doesn't always come off as a ringing endorsement, and it seems to poke at the toxic mentalities that that can kind of create, you know, that. So yeah, I think the fandom. I understand why the fandom of Rick and Morty has like ruined things for people, has ruined the show for some people. That's completely understandable. But at the same time, like I said, like the fandom, I think, does not get a lot of what the show is saying, like, in more subtle ways. But where is that going? Right, Bob's Burgers. So yeah, Bob's Burgers. If you've seen all of their Christmas episodes, at least, there's the one where shit. There are so many episodes that are send-ups of older movies that even if I haven't watched them, I'm familiar with them enough that I get what they're doing. But yeah, this is one that I've actually seen, and I'm suddenly brain farting on the title of the film. But it's the one, it was an early Spielberg film, I believe, where the guy is being threatened throughout the whole film by a quote-unquote evil truck or evil truck driver who we never see the face of, so, you know, you just kind of have this, you know, faceless entity of this, you know, massive truck that has, I've seen people, like, examining, like, various little visuals in this and saying, oh, yeah, this is, you know, kind of suggesting that, you know, this one little thing on the truck itself is kind of suggesting that, you know, this truck has taken down drivers before for no apparent reason, ostensibly, because that's how it was set up. But yeah, what was the, I forget the title of the film, but yeah, there's that one. And so they stop at a diner to, at the very least, call for a tow truck because the Belchers have ended up stuck in the snow just off in this wooded area, and or something like that. I don't know. They stopped at a diner anyway. That's the important part. And Linda notices that on the menu they've got Dutch, and I might have mentioned this when maybe my last stream a couple weeks ago when I was doing my last pill organizers thing before surgery. So yeah, like almost 2 weeks ago now. I think I might have mentioned that Dutch. Oh wait, no. That was my last, because I did that in the morning hours for me. But no. Yeah, my last meal before surgery, I made Dutch baby pancake, and I would have made a second one that night because the recipe itself is actually fairly easy. It's just a little bit on the involved side, and I have learned in the ones I've made since, because I've been making a hella Dutch baby. Oh. I've been making hella Dutch baby since I got back from surgery, and then what happens is, I think I'm going to do that now. I'm going to at least start part of that. So, but first I gotta scrub down the sink here. Son of a bitch. Honestly, I kind of wish I had remembered when Lent started, so I could have made one of those on Fat Tuesday, because, well, of course, you know, Fat Tuesday, like, locally in the Metro Detroit area, Pushki is the big thing in the Metro Detroit area, in part because Hamtramck, which is in this weird area. It is technically within the city limits of Detroit, but it is a self-governing city unto itself as well. But yeah, that's known for having a whole lot of Polish and otherwise Eastern European, but mostly Polish immigrants during the early to mid 20th century, and then white flight, and then in more recent years, I've seen people say that there's a lot of Armenians in Hamtramck, while obviously like Dearborn, because if anybody else remembers the short-lived, due to the fact that it was incredibly boring, reality, quote-unquote, like documentary series called American Muslim. Something like 3 of the 6 subjects who had agreed to be on that show were from Dearborn or just outside Dearborn, Michigan, which is, at least at the time, at least as of like 10 years ago, was said to be the highest population of practicing Muslims in the United States was in Dearborn, Michigan. So then what happens? But yeah, so like Dearborn has a lot of people of Middle Eastern descent, but still, you will see, because Fat Tuesday, or as it's regarded by non-Catholics in the Metro Detroit area, Puchki Day, or people will say Punchki Day, Punchki Day, Pachki Day, because I'm not even completely sure how to read the Polish, but I've been told by people who speak it a little bit that Pushki is probably closer how it's quote-unquote supposed to be spoken in most dialects. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, non-Catholics, Metro Detroit area, and Puchki it's a Polish pastry. It's commonly described as a jelly donut, but that's not correct. It's very similar to a jelly donut. So okay, so think of a jelly donut, but the pastry itself is much richer than your typical American jelly donut. I can't even think of something to compare it to. Something denser than an American Long John, which are often erroneously sold as eclairs in, like, truck stops and gas stations. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, think something much denser than a Long John pastry. And like I said, it's very dense. It's very dense, but it's also got a flakiness to it. And the filling, typical. I want to say typical filling. Traditional. Traditional, at least according to Wikipedia, anyway, would be either rose or fig. I believe. Stateside, you see prune a lot. You see prune a lot. You see raisin a lot. I can't remember some of the other ones I've seen. The fillings boasted as. I don't remember. I do know you see. I do know that you see prune and raisin puchki a lot, at least around here. I personally think that the pastry part itself, especially, is so rich as to be kind of gross. Like, just the flavor is just like so rich in. If I remember growing up in the historical Polish village district of Toledo, accurately enough, it is if they're made traditionally, they will use lard rather than any kind of vegetable shortening, so they are so far from vegan. or maybe it's a combination of lard and butter. I don't know. It's got this really, really heavy kind of taste to it. Not even just like the texture or the density of the pastry. It's, you know, being heavy. It's got almost a heavy taste to it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that kind of, like I said, I've never liked them. I've never liked them. I've had people say to me, "Oh, no, you're thinking about the gross ones from Kroger that they do up there. No, you want a good one from Dom Bakeries out on Washtenaw." Like, you know, locally here in Ypsilanti. And I say, no, I'm talking about the ones that I grew up eating out of this, oh, shit. God, what was the guy's name? My mother was friends with him, like, back when she was, like, in junior high or thing. You know, like I said, like, her family side was English and Cornish, but she grew up in Toledo because that's where, you know, her parents had family members during the Blitz. But, so yeah, like, well, plus my grandfather worked the freight docks on the Maumee River, which is like, if you're familiar with Toledo, Ohio, or shit, if you're familiar with old reruns of MASH, Klinger often referenced to this restaurant called Tony Paco's. And Tony Paco's, they're really well known for their pickle, and also for, in Toledo, they call it a Hungarian hot dog, but it's not really a thing in Hungarian cuisine. It's just because the founder of Tony Paco's, and I believe the same family still owns it, rather than, like, you know, passed down to, you know, a friend of. I know it's still privately owned, very much so, but, so yeah, but I've been to other places, and they call it a Toledo-style hot dog. So basically, you take this this traditional Hungarian sausage, and you quarter it. So once long ways, and then once on the down the center. So they quarter this massive Hungarian sausage, and then they put that on the in the sausage roll, and they put their recipe, chili and other stuff on, I think mustard. I think just their chili and their mustard, but it's done with this traditional Hungarian style sausage rather than a more typical American hot dog or German Frankfurter or German Knockwurst or something, right? Where was I going with this? Tony Paco's. Oh, right. So yeah, Fat Tuesday, Puchki. I never liked them. But yeah, like, my mother, she went to junior high school with this kid who's Polish, and they owned a bakery, and then, so, like, he owned it until I was about in 4th grade. It was foreclosed on very suddenly. But yeah, so, like, I grew up with, like, traditional Polish puchki, like, from this bakery, this like 3rd, 4th generation Polish bakery in Toledo, which, you know, is like to Detroit what Gary, Indiana is to Chicago. I've encountered other people who agree with me on this very recently, and it's like, yeah, it's true. It is not an untrue statement to make about the cities and how they relate to each other like that. So yeah, like I said, I grew up eating, like, you know, traditional, like, family recipe puchki, and I still thought they were disgusting. And there are people locally who think there's something wrong with me for this. But I got to this because Dutch Baby, Fat Tuesday, if you are of largely English or Irish origin culturally, which includes some parts of the West Indies, I believe, you know, so like that part of the Caribbean, like Barbados and Jamaica, I believe, still consider Fat Tuesday Pancake Day, especially amongst non-Catholics. So yeah, I was thinking to myself after I made the Dutch Baby, holy shit, I forgot about Lent. I could have made myself like a stack of these on Fat Tuesday, but oh well, because yeah, like, you know, I would have the goddamn puchki at home, and like I said, like, like I said, my mother went to junior high with the guy, and who ended up owning the bakery, and so like, yeah, she brought those home like as a kid and stuff, during school and all of that, and yeah, her parents ate it, but her parents also like made like this big like pancake dinner, on Fat Tuesday. So yeah, like that's my Fat Tuesday tradition that I've done periodically since, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of figured out like the fact that I've kind of lost track of Lent in recent years, kind of suggests to me that I am no longer, or at least I am gradually losing my cultural Catholicism that I grew up with. Like, I don't think it's completely divorced from me, since I still have like intense waves of guilt for no apparent reason sometimes, that I just chalk it up to having been harmed by Catholicism as a very much younger person than I am today. But yeah. So yeah, like the fact that I've lost track of Lent, and that occurred to me like as I was eating my Dutch baby before, night before surgery, like, the last possible hour I was allowed to eat things. I was just like, yeah, I guess I am losing my cultural Catholicism. I doubt I will ever be able to completely divorce it, just due to guilt and the ingrained sense of guilt that I feel over everything and nothing. Like, there are starving children in Somalia. Yes, I know this. Somehow it is my fault. It is the fault of every person who grew up a Catholic child. Somehow. Why? Because that's what our grandmothers said to us. There are starving children in Africa and India, and why aren't you finishing your dinner? Because I'm full. Well, think about the starving children all over the world. Okay. They would be grateful to have this, I know. But I'm sure they'd also finish eating once they're full, right? Like, that's how eating is supposed to work. Where was I going with this? Shit. So I've got this bag of garbage that is from the kitchen, and it ended up a bit more gross than I thought it was going to. This is what I get for taking plastic bags out of bins outside stores. Okay. Well, yeah, it's a bit more gross than I expected it to be, and I keep forgetting to take it out, so, okay. Hopefully this is the last bagging of this trash I will have to do, so I'm going to put it in front of the door, and this will remind me to go and because there are things I have to do tomorrow, and I need to wash this jar. This is indeed an antique jar. I mean, I know the patent date doesn't mean a whole lot, but this is indeed a very old jar. I can kind of tell by the, not so much the sound. Why did I do that? But the ways that it's fused. It's one of those things that you can only really tell up close, but yeah, that's a very old jar, and I'm really glad that didn't break when I accidentally knocked it over. Okay, kitty cats, who wants dinner? Just kitties wants dinner? Dinner time for the kitty cats. Oh, yes. But first, I'm gonna preheat the oven, not quite that high. There we go, 475 they say. Yo. Citizen. Okay. Squishy birches, all my nurses. And, of course, it gets to be part of my day that there's things besides the wet cat food plates that I failed to bring in from the previous meals I've had. Um, okay, Phoebe's is there. Okay, that worked. Okay, there. For now, where? The other plate. There's a third plate. We're not having until we find the other plate. Kitty cats. Kitty cats. Where is the other dinner plate? Okay, here's the second plate. Ay, ay, ay. Kitty cats. Where is dinner? Ah. Okay. Kitty cats. Oh shit! Is this what you? Yes, that is what. God damn it! Okay, Murnau is one of those cats who has, in my opinion, the most irritating habit a cat can have, which is he likes to bury his food after he finishes his dinner. So he likes to bury the plate. So because it is very difficult to train cats to lose bad habits. Like it is far more difficult with cats than it is with dogs. Like to the point that some pet behaviorists think that it's practically impossible to get a cat to stop a lot of, the most common bad habits that they can have. And, I have never before had a cat with this irritating as fuck habit. So I have no idea what my options to try to break him of this even are. But yeah, like that is the irritating habit a cat can have. And I'm usually very good about, at the very least, to at least curb the most irritating aspects of this most irritating habit. I'm usually very good about like moving stuff like my socks or random papers that fell off the coffee table. I'm usually good about moving those out of the way when I give him his dinner, but that's what happened. That's why I spent like however much longer than I needed to looking for the third plate, because he had pulled socks from, I swear these were a good 3 feet away when I put it down last night. I knew one of the papers probably was not. He probably pulled that off the coffee table, to be honest. And now he's like running back and forth with Nigel over there. But it's like, I swear, the socks that he put into the plate, I swear those were a good 3 feet away. I've been very good about it, especially my socks, because, especially, this class of my socks, which would be, my yoga slippers that, I like to have just for around the house kind of footwear. So yeah, like now I've got to wash these because they absorbed all the liquid from mixing last night's cat food, and that's fun. That's fun times. Now I've got more laundry to do because Murnau did the irritating thing again and somehow managed to make it even more irritating. This is always fun. This is to take my mind off of my really, really annoying cat. I'm gonna scroll back up and look through this last hour of chat and see what all people have been trying to say. Okay. Got P and E. Oh, got one. I'm thinking Fitbit. Okay. Yeah, because it likes to get waterlogged. Emerald says, just got to make sure the seal around this screen is still intact. Okay. Then Razor Blade Dreams. My SAD usually triggers on the solstices. Okay, I can see that. Short skirt, long jacket. I'm not sure what that was referencing. Errol says, I think LiveJournal harmed a lot of people. Oh, God. Yeah. LiveJournal harmed me, but I think Tumblr harmed me even more. Like, even though that came later, it's like, oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. So, because I was engaging with people who were at least claiming to be, like, 15 years old in a conversation about, like, something. Like, you've got these, like, you know, like, I am minor, do not interact. And I'm like, you know, like when you're following the whole like reblog, you know, conversation, how that works on Tumblr, like people don't always immediately go, because like I said, especially, you know, somebody in my position where like, you know, you cut your teeth on the whole like interactive, you know, blogging kind of thing on LiveJournal, but still it's like, you know, with the way that it works on Tumblr, it's like you don't always go right to everybody's profile, you know, or at least like the front page of their blog or whatever. So like people were literally accusing me of being a pedophile just because I was having a conversation with people who, you know, at least as per their blog said they were 15. And I'm like, I don't know how the hell old you are when you're getting in these conversations with people in the reblog system. Like, what the script? Oh, gosh. But yeah, and of course, you know, like, a bunch of them dogpiled on me, and that was always fun. That's always fun when that shit happens. An Emerald. Oh, I've missed everybody in the chats and all that, too, because you're saying you've definitely missed my face, and thank you so much. I always find it really weird when people say that they miss me. It's not so much that I'm suspicious, it's that I genuinely have no idea. I was the weird kid in school, like, from kindergarten through, you know, well, pretty much through, like, my last, you know, days of high school, who had, like, maybe one or two friends, you know, like, the whole time. Oh, wait, no, high school, I had 4 friends. I had exactly 4 friends. 2 closer than the other 2, but, yeah, it's like, I've had fewer than a whole full hands count of friends, like, all. So it's like when people actually seem to like me and like, you know, talking to me and interacting with me in any sort of way, even if it's just online, I'm like, why? Why? People don't like me. Like, parents don't like me. Not even my own liked me very much. Then Emily Cahill says, hey folks, good morning or other times. Jesus equals Balder for peeps post-medieval, the more you know. I'm not quite sure what that part was referencing. Oh yes, and then Fat Jesus comes on, he's one of my moderators, and hello to yourself as well. And and Emily is asking Emerald what she's up to. And hopefully all of us are staying out of trouble for all possible meanings of that. Trying not to breathe on anyone, but still live my life. Yes, everybody needs to breathe. Yeah, it's nearly 1 a.m. and I am... Wait. And I... Hello? Oh, crap. Wait, reset. I don't understand. Wait. Ugh, I'll figure this shit out. Oh, wait, do I have to charge this? That would be a pain in the ass. Okay, then Emily asked something. Do you ever get irritated by online folks who don't even try to say your easy Celtic online name, kind of, sort of, right? No, this is not an online name. This is, like, my name. This is my legal name. Yes, I just... you know, mostly use my first name online, but no, this is my name. I've pulled out my passport in an older video. Um, but I'm not quite sure where my blue tape is to, you know, put stuff over the, what's it called? The ID numbers and the address and all of that. So I'm not going to put it out now, but, actually, I'm going to grab my bus pass, because I need my legal name for my bus pass. So, yeah, this is indeed my name. As to why I did that, it's like they misspelled the Jarman for some reason, but yeah, so this is indeed my name. And yeah, at some point, I just kind of get used to having to immediately correct people after they say it the first time, which I get a lot of people saying Ruadhán or Ruadhán, but I just say no. It's Rowan. I assure you, it's Irish, and if you don't speak any, then I already speak a little bit more than you do. So, by my name alone, by my name alone. So yeah, I don't know. At some point, you get used to it because it just is what it is. Like, my father always got annoyed when people assumed his full name was Raymond, but no, it's like his dad just named him Ray. Because I believe that was his father's name. In the olden days, I avoided live journal, but with a dead journal. I do still have a dead journal, and I believe I'm a dead journal early adopter. I just missed being a live journal early adopter. Okay, Fat Jesus says, saw an ad at the beginning of this stream. Can you edit it after it uploads? YouTube will demonetize because of the... Oh, I'm not... Oh, edit the video after the end of the stream. I don't... If there is a way to do that, I'm sure it's from the computer, and my laptop is barely holding itself together lately. Let's look at suspicion. Yeah, they need to listen and or Google it. Oh, yeah, yeah, and see, that's the thing, is, like, I say my name at the beginning of nearly every video of mine, and yet, that's where it bugs me, is, like, when it's on YouTube, because, so, like, I begin, like, almost every saying my name, you know, like, a greeting of some variety, and then I say my name, and, because I've altered, you know, I've adjusted it over the last year and some. So yeah, like, when, like, the whole big drama happened about a year ago, like, obviously, like, there were some, you know, goth YouTubers making response videos, which, okay, makes perfect sense. The thing that got a lot of attention really fast. But then what happens is, so they're making response videos to me, like, even if they're being more charitable, like, Radically Dark. She made one of the more charitable, response videos, which I appreciated. But still, it's like, it's like she even watched my video, and that much was clear. I can't remember, how much she, I can't remember if she used anything, like, downloaded from the video, but it was very clear, because she addressed things that I actually said, so it was very clear that she did watch the video, but she still pronounced my name as Ruadhán, and I'm like, what the hell? I literally just said my name at the beginning of my video, and yet you still can't say it right. Which, I'm just like, fun times. I give you the cheat sheet. This is an open book test on how to say my name. Just watch one of my videos. Just watch, like, the first not even full minute of most of my videos. And, like I said, it's an open book test. It is an open book test on how to say my name. And yet, there are still people who either can't say it or will avoid trying to say it because I don't know. Like, I told them how to say it, but they can't. And, like, I don't know, like, even in person, like, yes, it's properly pronounced, Ruadhán, or, I know a lot of people put a bit more emphasis on the second syllable, which I did not grow up speaking Irish, so I'm not quite used to that, but it's like, I do a lot better than, you know, most people trying to say it literally after they watched me say it in a video. But yeah, it's like, it's Ruadhán. But I will still get people saying, oh, Rowan? I'm like, close enough. Close enough. I will accept Rowan from people, if only because, like, when you put Ruadhán into Google Translate, it will, when you put it into Google Translate will tell you Rowan, R-O-W-A-N. So I'm just like, yeah, close enough. If Google says that's my name, then sure. So wait, you've got a sibling who's MTF, so male to female, as in they were assigned apparently male at birth and now living en femme, correct? Yeah, every video it's like, hi, my name is Ron. I don't know about the pronunciation. At my doctor's office, they have a spot for preferred name, which, when that first happened, I heard a lot of people going on about, like, oh, well, the trans has to be appeased. And I'm like, honey, if your first name is Timothy, but you go by Tim, that is a preferred name. Like, if your college nickname is, I don't know, like say your college nickname is Pud, and everybody calls you that for some reason, and you're okay with your doctor calling you that, that is a preferred name. Like, yes, it's a nickname. It's a stupid nickname, but it's a nickname. I'm sure if your name is John and your college friends called you Pud, there is probably a... Wait, this is not a Monday thing. So, okay, as far as tips for your for your family member, I don't know. I'm the other way around myself, so FTM, and hold on. So, and I'm not sure, like, tips for what? Like, just life in general, or... Because if it's just life in general, I don't know, like, I would say that, yeah, I don't know. Legal name is Sandra, but this is the name I've gone by. See, and that's another thing. That's another thing. It's like... Wait, 4. I think that's 4. Let's say 4. sorry, I've gotta, I portion out their food, you know, like, ration it a bit. I don't just, like, eyeball it, usually. In part because Phoebe's kind of chubby. And, and she's not, like, as far as, like, her length and height go, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, like, Phoebe's kind of chubby, and yeah, when she was last seen at the vet, they didn't think that was, an alarming weight for her. But, one of those things, like, just, like, keep an eye on her, don't let her get too much chubbier, because she's not a very long or tall girl. She's a sweet little lady, but just such a chubby little lady, too. So, yeah, she's very, very sweet, but very, very chubby. Well, okay, maybe not very, very chubby, but she's just chubby enough. And we don't need her getting too much chubbier, because too much chubby leads to some potential health issues for the kitties. And plus, it's like they don't even always finish their dinner plates that I make for them, which is, why I had to rinse so much in the sink before I even started, because kitties are just like, but hi, yes, oh, does Miss Phoebe wants her dinners? Up, she's popping up on her hind legs for us. But, come here, does Miss Phoebe wants her dinners? Come here, you know where you get your dinners, Miss Lady Pants. And we've got dinners for Murnau. No, Murnau, not on the suitcase full of games. You'll have your dinner right here. And Nigel, bud, he's my sweet boy. My sweet, beautiful Nigel boy. I think my ceiling is okay, but I only happily take any. Wait, disgust and concentration doing what? Spooning out cat food. It's more concentration and kind of like frustration, because I was talking and losing track of how much I was serving. Where was I going? Oh, right. So, I don't know. As far as advice and stuff, I don't know. This is one of those things where I, like, never know how to respond. People ask me for advice on all kinds of things, and I'm just like, I don't know, I just am. I hang out. Ah, shit. Okay, well, that's... Well, that's definitely an egg that's going in there. That's... Okay. Oh, don't fall. Wait, seriously? Okay. Let's... I tried to peel it out of the carton, like a person ought to be able to do, but... Of course. There we go. There's another one. Okay. Yes, I obtained pricey-ass eggs, but... It's like... Yeah, I'm poor as shit, but it's like... This is not why I'm broke. My fancy pants eggs are not why I have, criminally low food stamps allowance right now. And until I got on a Dutch baby spree lately, I don't eat eggs that much. But as far as, like, pancake... Please tell me this is all just coffee sitting in... Okay, yeah, that's just flakes of ground coffee. How did that end up on the egg beater? Next time use a little bit of... Oh, that makes some sense. There was only one left in the carton, so I just put that on top of the new carton, so... Yeah, like these little tiny luxuries, this is not why I'm broke. It's not like all of my, it's not like all of my groceries is name branded everything and high, you know, quality organic stuff and nonsense. It's like, I don't know, like, and plus, like, there are some things that I'm just kind of like locked into getting pricier version of, so I don't get those very much because of my soy allergy. Yeah, for some reason this has picked up some coffee grounds, so I'm just gonna like do a thorough clean of it and usually when I'm cooking, when I've got milk for cooking stuff, I mix it from dry, which is like a big. That was the big bag of stuff I pulled out of the dish rack before I started doing the dishes as thoroughly as I ended up doing. So yeah, it's like I mix my milk from dry more often than not. So it's like when I'm doing that, it's like I can get myself some fancy eggs, because it's only every once in a while. Unless, like, right now I'm on a Dutch baby high horse of sorts. I don't know why I said high horse. That makes no sense. So your Dutch baby recipe. You want your basic one anyway. You want 2 eggs. You want half a cup of milk. And you want... So... when I'm making stuff like pancakes and waffles, I use cake flour instead of all-purpose, because, well, first off, I read something from a lot of other, like, amateur but very experienced cooks, and a couple of professionals, I believe, to really highly recommended making pancakes and waffles with cake flour because it ends up fluffier. So like the first time I made waffles from cake flour, I'm like, wow, the waffle iron has already ruined frozen waffles for me. Well, that and the fact that my my toaster is vintage 1926 General Electric. I probably shouldn't put frozen waffles in there anyway. I could put frozen waffles in the oven, but I don't know. That's just like such a pain in the ass since I've got like the full-size oven rather than a toaster oven. Plus, if I had a toaster oven, I wouldn't need a toaster, but it's like, I like my old-ass toaster. In part because I suspect, at least I blame my ADHD on this, because what? Because when I had a pop-up toaster, I would put toast in, and I would get distracted, and I would wander away from the toaster, and then I'd come back like half hour later, maybe longer, and then suddenly I've got cold toast, which is like, it's edible, but it's like, it's not warm, and one of the best reasons to toast something is not just so, like, you know, say for a sandwich, you've got like the stronger structural integrity for the sandwich, especially if you're using cheap-ass bread, like I have to get most of the time. But toast, like if you just want toast as toast, it's like the best part of toast as like a snack or something is that you get the butter on there and it melts just perfectly. You get the right amount of perfectly melted butter, or, you know, or peanut butter, the warm peanut butter on top of toast. It's like so yeah, if your toast is cold at that point, just like put it in the fridge and save it for French toast the next morning or something, and then you have to make more toast. And then I'm at risk of wandering away again before my toast pops up, and then we begin the cycle all over, right? So, where was I going? Right, this is, you know what? It's 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon, so, okay, Dutch. So if you're using cake flour, you want to do 1/2 cup plus 1.5 teaspoons. Yeah, because this recommends in place of no. Yeah, 1 cup tablespoons. So that would be 1/2 cup, 1 tablespoon of cake flour. But if you're using all-purpose, just 1/2 cup of all-purpose. It's just not going to be as fluffy, or as when I did it with cake flour these last few times, it's got almost like kind of a pastry texture to it, which seemed to be the most common texture for it when I see cooked Dutch baby that other people have made online, like, you know, through like various tags and everything on Instagram, because that's what Instagram is for. It's for cats and food porn. And because 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon, I'm just going to put this here. Now, son of a bitch. People are trying to talk to me. Okay, I'm just putting that on top, and now I close my cake. And so, before... Oh, yeah, that's just ground coffee. Never mind, because I ground coffee, because I do not abuse my body and the world around it. Okay, so first, before you start on this, do what I did, and you want to turn your oven up to 475 Fahrenheit, and you put your cast iron skillet in there. You really want cast iron for this. You really want cast iron. I use an 8-inch skillet, or 8-inch fry pan. I know a skillet is technically a different kind of pan. So you put your 8-inch fry pan in there. The recipe I found recommends a 10-inch fry pan, cast iron, of course, but it works just fine with 8-inch, I've noticed. I figure it's just a little bit thicker. So first, you want to, like, whip the crap out of these eggs with... I use an egg beater. You can use a whisk, and it'll be just fine. I don't think a hand mix... I think a hand mixer might just be a little bit too much. So then, you whip in the milk. I think an electric hand mixer would be a bit much, so that's why I use an egg beater. And then you gradually tap in the flour as you mix it. And flour goes all over the counter. But yeah, as for advice for various trans people, I don't know, if I were going to give advice to trans people, I would say expect a couple of family members to just, like, never get with the program. That's just kind of been my experience. And, like, that of most other trans people I know is, like, there will always be at least one member of your family. More likely a minimum of 2, but, you know, count on a minimum of 1 who will just not get with the program and honor your name and new pronoun preference and all of that. Now, if it ends up that all of your family is fairly accepting, but no, yeah, there's going to be at least one family member for the overwhelming majority of trans people there's going to be at least one family member who just, you know, is going to be very much an adamant dick. So there's that. As far as, but other than that, just like, things get easier when, you know, things get easier as you get older, as with many things in life. It's not a race to, you know, like transitioning, should you go the medical route. It's not a race. There's like no set timeline to get everything done within, but at the same time, like, know your own needs and like evaluate yourself fairly regularly, you know, for what exactly you need. And I know this might sound cynical to some people, but it is easier if you're going to, you know, if not only your goal is to be, but if you can, to at least a bare minimum work toward passing as, you know, being read as your neurological gender or proper gender identity. People use a lot of various terminology that just basically means the same thing, honestly. Unless you're coming from the, oh gosh. No, I'm not going to rant about it because the whole social distancing is already messing with my head enough, and if I go down that rant, it's going to mess with me even harder. But no, it's like, I almost wish it wasn't this way, but if you can be read as, you know, just barely enough of your gender to be, you know, addressed as such, obviously that's going to be easier on you. I'm at a point in my life where some days it's just barely, but I am generally read as male more often than not, which is not... Oh, the whole with the pandemic where they're like, you know, don't go out unless you absolutely have to, like for work. Stay in, especially if you feel any kind of under the whenever you try to stay about 6 feet away from people, or on worldwide advice between 4 and 6 feet away from other people. So yeah, like, because I'm a classically trained lyric tenor, and apparently COVID-19, if you do catch it, even if you are one of the people in the under 60 age who is most likely to survive it, it can cause permanent lung damage. So the idea that I can get sick with something that not only feels like the worst flu I've had times 10, and even then, that's just kind of scraping how bad it feels, because you will probably feel like you're having trouble breathing as well, just in general speaking. But it can also cause permanent lung damage. It's like, no, that is absolutely terrifying. I would like to avoid getting this kind of illness, if at all possible. So yeah. But still, at the same time, the whole, like, you know, holding myself up in my, you know, small apartment with my 3 cats, it's like, this is messing with me. This is messing with my head, because I enjoy the social interaction, or at least the mental stimulation it gives me. So yeah, so yeah, that's really messing with me right now. So next step of the Dutch baby, like I said, you wanna, I've noticed that the frothier you can whip this, the better. So I don't know, like maybe a hand mixer would be good for it, but I don't know. I've noticed, I think the egg beater works just fine. So first you want to preheat the oven and the pan. So you want to preheat the, what the hell? Oh, old receipt. So you want to preheat not just the oven, but also the pan at 475. And then when you go back to the oven to get the pan, to get the preheated pan out, you want to, what? You want to turn it down to 425. So that's what I'm doing right now. First I turn down the heat a bit. And then, actually, I'm gonna double up on my, there we go. So this is one of my oven mitts that I crocheted the lace edging myself, but I'm gonna double this up because 475 is very, very hot. So, and now, ooh, steaming coming off of there. So, oh crap, you need butter, shit. Okay. Where the hell did my table knife go? So, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Seriously, wax paper? That was more like 3.5. So there we go. 4 tablespoons of butter. A little bit of the salted butter. Cause, oh crap! I forgot to splash some vanilla in here. Ooh, that did get a little bit frothy. Okay. And just a little pinch of table salt. And let me re-whip this with my freshly rinsed egg beater. Okay, there we go. And I've got some coffee grounds in here somehow because they ended up in my egg beater for some reason. But it's my goddamn coffee from my goddamn coffee grinder. For my goddamn French press. Going in my goddamn Dutch baby because it's my goddamn dinner. Cats just had their goddamn dinner. And now, oh yes. Okay. Now that may sound like a lot of butter, 4 tablespoons for... Actually, I think the recipe I found recommended... I don't know, I think it might have recommended less, but... more the last one I made, and it was... Oh gosh, it did things. It did things in the pan while it was cooking. That was just, like, awesome. So, and then you just want to pour the whole amount in here. Try to get as much of that in there as possible. And so this is not gonna, I don't have an easy way to show this. And it's already starting to heat through the thing. So we've got some browned butter from the cast iron. And this is going in here for, seriously? Okay. And now we find out why the diner in the Bob's Burgers episode said that they take about 25 minutes to prepare, because you want to do this for at least 15 minutes. And we just saw, like, while the basic ingredients are very, very simple and in very easy to remember proportions, it's a little bit involved with the whipping in of the eggs and all of that. So, because I use a smaller pan than the recipe I found recommended. The recipe I found recommended 15 minutes. So I go for 18, just a little under 20. So yeah, now we see why, the diner gave them an estimated wait time of 25 minutes to prepare the Dutch baby. So, I'm seriously? Okay. I'm gonna catch up on some stuff here. Warm toast with peanut butter fucks me right up. Oh, wait. Oh, right. There's the advice about the eggs. Monotheism is naive. I am pagan. Are you? I am interested in polytheism. I used to regularly, write in, this, polytheist-focused blog that I have since retired it. And I spoke at the Polytheist Leadership Conference in, seriously? Oh, gosh. In 2014. Yeah. 2014. So, yeah, obviously, I am quite interested in polytheism. Where was I going? Wait. Where's the remote? Cats! Did you hide the remote on me? They probably did. God damn it. And I am in... Oh, nope, never mind. It was right in front of me. Oh, God. Yeah, waffles are great. Make a bunch of waffles and freeze the leftovers. I should probably take to that, or at least storing the waffle batter in an airtight container and only make a few waffles at a time, but at the same time it's like, or I can make more waffles. Real question, how do I feel about The Cure? I enjoy The Cure. I really do. Not one of my favorite bands, but they're always good. I've never heard a song of theirs that I find completely objectionable. Like, I'm even counting Mint Car. Like, I have friends of mine who hate that song, but I enjoy it. I love it. I really do. It's how can I not be happy listening to that? There's a lot of songs by The Cure that are like that, where I'm just like, how can you not enjoy yourself listening to this? So, what the hell is up with my Roku? Things are just suddenly, like, very, very big looking, and I don't understand why. Options. Okay, that's not helping me. Maybe scroll up to settings. No. Theme. No. Okay, so when I go into this menu, things are... Wait, display type. Detected. No. Okay. Display type set to okay, yes. Okay, somehow the auto display got borked up. Okay, that's what happened. It was only happening on the home screen. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Oh yeah, goddamn. Warm toast with the peanut butter warmed up by the toast. Oh my gosh, that is like that's just like one of my comfort food go-tos. Even though, my toaster is an antique pain in the ass, but it means I'm not going to wander away from my toast and then come back to cold toast an hour and a half later. Of my sibling, no matter what. My mom is ignorant and misgenders with that. Oh, yeah, that's, yeah, I don't know. I think with the whole thing with the family, it's, when it's parents, it's a, I think part of it is just like a matter of pride that they're just like, no, I gave birth, or, I have been raising this kind of child my entire life so far, or this child's entire life so far, and yeah, so there's a bit of arrogance and a bit of pridefulness that gets in the way there. Uh, but I've noticed parents tend to come around a lot more easily than extended family members tend to. Um, Granted, my own family wasn't, my own father and stepmother and mother weren't alive long enough to, for me to judge that for myself, but going by most other people I've known, yeah, like, amongst family members, what's it called? Parents tend to have an easier time coming around. Siblings usually have the easiest time coming around, but here's a fun fact is my younger sister was misgendering me so hard to her 12-step group that, like, when she died, there were women from her HANA group, whatever, who took it upon themselves to inform me that Molly had passed, which, okay, I don't know why, like, they couldn't coordinate so that fewer than 4 people felt the need to inform me of this. But, well, granted, there was one of them who was her former sponsor, who quit being her sponsor, actually, like, a good, like, 10 months before the kid, OD'd. But, yeah, so, yeah, it's not a case where, and she said that she could no longer be Molly's sponsor because it wasn't so much that Molly didn't even want to get with the program. Molly didn't even want to, like, just, like, do functional adult things with her life. So, and I'm like, yeah, that's just kind of how she's always been, so, whatever. Then what happens is, yeah, so it's like, that young lady, she was, like, the only one of the, former friends and acquaintances from 12-step groups of Molly's who did not, because I had spoken to ex-sponsor once or twice before Molly passed, just to reasons. But yeah, so she knew my deal, but the other women from Molly's old 12-step group, they were under the impression that I was Molly's sister now. Okay, so yeah, they were just like, oh, by the way, you seem like you make a pretty really pretty lady. And I'm like, no, I'm going the other way around. I don't know what Molly's been telling you. She just says that you're. I'm like, oh, god damn it. So yeah, whereas my last living sister, Ruby, she's been fine. She's actually been really fine about all of this, and she's just like, she's like, yeah, like, she didn't live with us full time. She lived with her mother full time, so I guess she's more of a half sister. But but in our family, it's just like, no, you're just, that it, none of this, like, half stuff, like, it's like, I mean, yeah, like, biologically only half sibling, but, as far as, we don't want to, like, make you feel like you're, lesser family members or something like that, right? Right. So, yeah, but yeah, Ruby's just like, yeah, I didn't live with you full time growing up, but, some stuff kind of makes sense. I'm like, in this, now that you're, transitioned, I'm like, Yeah, thanks. So yeah, like that's fine. But yeah, like sisters usually, like siblings usually have the easiest time coming around, just because much closer in age than parents. None of that like parental kind of pride slash arrogance. Parents have an easier time coming around than extended family members. It may still take some years, but they usually have an easier time coming around just because. And then like um, depending on the family, grandparents can have an easier time coming around than parents, but like I said, it kind of depends on the family, but yeah. Parents and grandparents are amongst the easiest to come around after siblings with, a family member transitioning.
Wait, did Tina and Tammy give up their bracelets to secure their sleeves? Did you collaborate on fashion and build a bridge to friendship and understanding?
There we go.
Sure did.
Oh, yay! Okay, how does this work? There we go. Okay. Add as my... But for a while, I've been meaning to add Leggy Resurrected as the moderator. So, fingers get sticky, eat off your hands, licky.
Hey, now. Little kitty. Little goofball.
This is not for your benefit, my streaming audience. I do this with him like several times a day.
I have to annoy you, don't I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because you're always annoying me. Yes.
Oh yeah, Rush is gone.
That's the discipline Murnau gets, is like, I annoy him at least as many times as he annoys me during the day. Son just switched from K to bi. Oh, that's... depending on his age, it's totally normal for, kids to experiment with different identities and stuff and see which one sticks the longest, And plus, like, we're all neurologically developing until we're at least in our, later end of mid-20s, so... like I said with the whole, like, transitioning not being a race, like, the same applies to, like, our understandings of our sexual orientation. It's like, there's no race to figuring your shit out. It's, even up until you're about 27, 28 years old, you're probably still going to be experimenting with your identity to some extent or another, and, like, trying out different terms and labels and seeing what fits best. That's a perfectly average, normal part of becoming an adult and learning who you are.
Maybe you guys can use a little wind?
Whoa, you just walk around with that thing?
Completely accept everything about it. Oh, that's good too, is like, yeah, just like, if your kid is experimenting with gender or trying on different sexual identity labels, that's fine. Just like go with it. Go with what they say they're doing. If it changes tomorrow, then oh well, go with that.
You know what this is, right?
Tuesday? Oh my god, it's trash day.
No, we're a band. Finally, it's happening.
Wait, we were a band before?
Yeah, especially when they're teens and little, like.
So, what do you say?
Okay.
Alright, but I don't carry my own
Just go with it. Like,
That's the spirit.
and that's the thing, is like, especially with teenagers, is like, the more you resist, the more you might drive them into doing things that may not fit, and, so... And because it doesn't fit, it ends up being just kind of an elaborate form of self-harm, but...
This is the noise of a band.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't have kids myself, but I remember being a teenager a bit better than a lot of people my age end up remembering, so I'm like, yeah, I've got the perspective of being a grown-ass adult now, so I'm just like, yeah, I was kind of a jackass for a period of my youth, but at the same time, I also remember that, you know, like, when I felt those emotions, I felt them hard, and a part of that is because, like, you know, when you're that age, those kinds of emotions are very new to you, and you're going to feel it harder. It's like when people say that, oh gosh, I think there's still people who believe that old wives' tale that babies don't feel physical pain as strongly as grown-ass adults do, but that makes no sense, because think about it, like, all the nerves in an infant's body are brand new. They haven't been exposed to, you know, to pain yet. They have nothing else to gauge it by. They don't know, like, how, like, all pain to an infant is going to be, like, all physical pain to an infant is going to be the worst physical pain they've ever felt, you know, because they have nothing else to gauge it by, so... Oh, there goes my Dutch baby, just as I was about to start another row on this. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I hate dealing with the easel and everything.
Hey, kitten! Murnau, are you a pain in the ass? Just a little bit? Just a little bit? Let me thump your butt.
Okay, I gotta go get my pancake. Kitten.
Don't wait around for Steely Dan. He's not coming for you. He's not coming for any of us.
It could happen.
Just sing with us, if you, like, know a song that goes with these chords.
One song, nothing from Frozen, because I don't want to cry.
Hey, Lenny Stefano, are you hiding from one of your many girlfriends?
Yep. Hey, you guys sound good. Are you a band?
Yes.
You guys want to play my birthday party this Saturday?
Yes.
Yes. Cool.
Not so fast, Lenny. We have to go over the particulars.
What do you mean?
We want the corner pieces of the cake, half of the pinata candy, and ownership of the streaming and performance rights worldwide in perpetuity.
I'm not having a pinata.
Get a pinata.
Okay. See you guys Saturday.
Oh my god! We just booked a gig at Lenny DiStefano's birthday party!
So are you in the band, Daryl?
Heck yeah, I'm in the band!
Yeah! The Itty Bitty Ditty Committee just got their first giggy.
You guys, I blocked out my schedule every day after school for band practice.
Every day? That's a lot of practice. We don't want to sound too rehearsed.
Yeah, Gene, we do. We want to sound really good. Lenny DiStefano's party is a big gig.
Alright, fine. As long as practice includes snack breaks, and bathroom breaks, and commercial breaks where I describe my favorite commercials.
Hey, Shayna.
Hey, Jimmy Jr., I guess you heard the news about the Itty Bitty Ditty Committee.
Huh? I was gonna tell you that you're standing in front of my locker.
Oh, sorry.
What's the Itty Bitty Ditty Committee?
Is that one of those cousin was kidnapped by one of them?
That's our band name. We're playing Lenny DiStefano's party on Saturday. It goes from 5 to question mark. Just kidding. It ends at 7:30.
2 burgers a day. I'm wearing this tank top because the doctor prescribed it for me.
Lynn, you don't have to say that to every customer.
What? I don't want people to think I'm trying to look like a hot potato.
What's going on under there?
It's just a little hair. I haven't been shaving my pits, see?
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
It's just there's so much of it. How long since you've stopped shaving?
A few days. It grows in really fast.
It's like animal fur.
It looks like that guy's hair from County Crows.
Yes. Okay, all right. Everyone's having fun. Say goodbye to Mr. Jones.
Guys, I wrote a song for Lenny's party. Daryl, here are the lyrics.
His name is Lenny. It is not Jenny. One time he ate a penny, and he thought nobody saw. Is that true?
True enough, I changed the name of the guy who ate the penny from Gene to Lenny, and it was a nickel.
Oh my gosh, Murnau! What are you doing? I know!
Oh my gosh. Okay, so because I hate eating on camera, I think I'm gonna end the stream very, very soon, because...
And I don't know which letter that is.
Yeah, that's it. Here, let me see.
Oh, hey! So yes, this would be my completed Dutch baby. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. And so, one thing that I did different this time was I whipped the batter, like, much longer than I have been. So, let me see how this compares with the extra whipped batter.
Daryl played your keyboard? Why?
You know how when you only know how to play play in one key and the other people want to play in different keys,
Ooh.
and you're like, what's it?
Oh,
There we go.
Your
Yeah.
armpit pores are
It
really
looks
filling up.
amazing. It looks really, really great.
For your skin.
So,
Anything behind you, Nat? Are you there?
Just seen him right here, behind the armpit there.
Oh, good.
I love it. We finally have pets. I'm calling them Laverne and Curly.
Too late, I already named them Harry and Sally.
Wait, one's a boy?
Obviously.
It's not a boy, it's a man.
No, it's not. I know if one was Billy Crystal. Everyone leave my pets alone.
Bella just got angry when you...
okay, this is great. This is great. So, there you are.
Yeah, she thought she'd be more comfortable back
You have my recipe for Dutch Baby, and I've been streaming for 2 hours now. But yeah, as always, take care of yourselves. So, as always, take care of yourselves, especially now in this pandemic season that we're having. And I know I've just been touching my nose a lot, but I didn't put on the ointment for my psoriasis, and I've noticed that I've had like some patches up around my my nose and my piercing lately. So since most people don't have psoriasis, it can get very itchy. Plus, I've also one of the cats threw my nasal spray that I have for my allergies under the couch, and so that's where I've been sniffling a bit lately because I haven't been able to do my nasal spray in the mornings. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And you can't even taste the baby. But yeah, this is just so yeah, as always, take care of yourselves, and including wearing your sunscreen, because it's getting closer and closer to the warmer part of the year, when you especially need to wear your sunscreen. And so yeah, I've been going on about 2 hours now. So bats and kisses and all of that, and take care of yourselves. And as always, if you have more dollars and cents, I've got PayPal tip jar and Patreon and everything and all of that. And I need to redo like what any Patreon perks are or may be, but I've got 2 Patreon supporters. That would be my friend Allie, who I mentioned earlier in the stream, as my friend who's the American expat living in France. And then there's a young lady named Allison, who I'm pretty sure has been well, I know she started when she started supporting via Patreon when I was still doing the Polytheist blog, pre-retiring it. So yeah, somebody I definitely know from the pagan community. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I'm don't breathe on anyone. Yeah, I'm not sick, so I don't have to worry so much about breathing on people, but yeah. Oh gosh. I need to find my allergy spray and I need to go put my psoriasis medication on my face, because that is how much I've got it, right? And I've got a cat over there who's stolen my chair. I mean, granted, he stole my spot on the couch first, but I'm like, who am I kidding at this point? That wicker chair is the cat's chair. I just sometimes use it for videos. But yeah, take care, everybody, and bats and kisses and all of that. And yes, all right, cancel, end stream, not cancel.